What is going on, guys? It is the Kai Beam Podcast, episode 22. You already know who it is, Kai Beam, and I'm here with my co-host, Gamdo, and I'm, of course, Mr. Elusive.
Yo,
Thank you for coming through and listening to episode 23. We have quite a diverse bunch of topics today. We are going to start off right off the bat with movies and TV because there's a lot of things that have been going on. I guess I'll just start my little list. I actually watched some of the movies that Elusive kind of threw our way to watch. I watched First Street 1994 and part two of it, which takes place in 1997. It's kind of like it's an interesting set of movies. I don't want to really spoil anything, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because I know Galdo probably hasn't watched it yet. But I'd definitely say check it out. It has the horror movie tropes, but there's an interesting story there. It has to deal with this kind of witchcraft stuff going on, and there's a lot of death and gruesome shit. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
like the setting that it has is like it has these two towns, Shadyville and Sunnyvale. Shadyville, it's already in its name, Shadyville. Everything
Yeah,
shitty happens in that town, and Sunnyvale is like the prosperous town where everything good happens. And pretty much like every decade or so, or 2 decades, like it's just gonna be like this random ass killing where like ordinary citizens who are just going about their merry life just freaking lose their shit and just go on a killing spree and kill a whole bunch of people. Then after a while, when they put the killer down, like everybody just chalk it up to the town just being like a shitty town where like it breeds like psychopaths and lunatic. But obviously, there's like a deep
deeper.
rooted
Yeah,
secret going on, whereas like the town is cursed or some other sinister shit is going on in the background.
yeah, yeah. And I gotta say I was surprised with because you're following a group of friends or whatever, and you expect a couple people to die, but nah, it's kind of
Everybody's
what,
up for
yeah.
chopping blocks.
Everybody's on the table, dude. It's actually pretty wild. I was surprised by that, but yeah, I definitely say check it out. It's based in the past and it's cool. There's a cool aesthetic to it, and yeah, if you like
Period pieces.
period
Yeah, it's
pieces,
pretty
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And
If
if
you
you
like
like
horror,
Stranger Things, horror and Stranger Things, yeah, definitely check that out because it borrows heavily from kind of Stranger Things, but with more adult theme to it than Stranger Things,
yeah.
and more horror theme too.
I still never have seen Stranger
Yeah, I
Things.
gotta watch that.
I gotta check out Stranger Things for sure.
I would honestly, if you watched it, I would take like a break from it, for like season. Like if you like binge watch a whole season, like in like say like a few days, and then like you're trying to get to the next season, I would take a little bit of a break because like
Yeah, the kids
something about it,
grow up. Yeah, they grow up every season and like they transform. So kind of take breaks in between seasons.
yeah.
Just so you should adjust yourself to that shit.
Okay.
And on top of that, it gets kind of annoying, the characters, because it's like kids. I guess the one thing that like they do really good at is like it feels like these kids know each other in real life, or like that like we're basically
That's
just
how.
watching like
Yeah,
a documentary. But
right.
like
Like
god
that's how
damn,
it's
these kids are
portrayed.
fucking annoying.
They
Yeah,
are.
it's portrayed to a T as far
Right.
as like what kids are like. So but yeah,
Gotcha.
other than that, it is really good. I am looking forward to season 4 of Stranger Things whenever that comes out.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of Strange, I actually went back and watched Doctor Strange, just because I felt like it. And I still have to say, because I have my little notes written out, just a little sentence that this movie, personally for me, remains one of my favorite within the MCU, just because it's just so different from everything else. It's not your normal. It is self-contained, but what I mean is it just dives in a place that's going left, and it made me excited more so for Multiverse of Madness, of course, and all this shit that's gonna be happening. Especially after what happened in this Loki finale that happened just this week. Yeah, shit is really really picking up now. Going segueing into Loki now. Yeah, man. The multiverse is here, dude, and shit is gonna be crazy.
It's wild.
It's
It
wild.
is wild.
Uh,
I do gotta say though, because I did notice on your notes. Oh, keep going.
Oh no, you go ahead. I was just gonna say it's just crazy.
I was just gonna.
It's just crazy.
No, it is. I was just gonna say like it's kind of odd how some people like aren't liking the show.
Yeah.
When it has like, it's on a different like realm than like WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Definitely Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like there's some people that strangely we expected to kind of, and not putting names out there, but we kind of expected them to be like, to understand where these plot points are coming from and why these characters are there, but like they're kind of like nitpicking about it, and I was like, that's kind of an odd standpoint to be on, because like, if you know these characters, like these versions of Loki, like they're in the comics, and like, I don't know, like I feel like if you didn't like the show because they had all these random characters, then it's clearly like, I'd get the impression that you would never really read into the comics before, or really know the character like that, so it might seem a little bit odd and like a waste of time, but like it was there for a reason. I don't think they're really there to waste time.
Everything had a purpose, and like you said, I don't mean to name names. I love Jeremy Jahns and everything. Like I usually agree with his takes, because I think he's a great reviewer. Personally, I've watched him for many years, and yeah, it just seemed like for some reason he was just nitpicking things a lot. Like, when I was watching his finale review, because I was interested in what he was going to say, he basically, I don't know, it just sounded weird, because he was just like, I don't really think they needed to have the episode where he met the Lokis. Like, that just felt unnecessary. I was like, how? Like, literally, there's context that needed to happen, because that gave our Loki some growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially meeting the future Loki, like getting his perspective, getting his experience of what he did. He actually went the mile and said, "Yeah, no, I fucked over Thor at the end there with Thanos. I left out. I said bye, nigga." And then you got to see the consequence of that. Him going off by himself and living his own life, and then realizing, shit, I do miss Thor. I miss Asgard. I want to go back. And then he just immediately gets pruned. So then we get to this point where, you know, Sylvie and Loki are on the tail of Kang, who we know is Kang now. But I mean, the version they met is Immortus, at basically, right? But they're on the tail of Kang over here, and honestly, if it wasn't for future Loki, they would have died. Like, because he was the real MVP of that end sequence. He was able to conjure an entire city, the entire city of Asgard in its entirety, and gave them the time they needed to enchant Eliath. If they didn't get that, they would have died. It would have been over.
Yeah.
So
it would have been, you know, it would have been done and over with.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think they're trying to use old Loki as a teaser of what a level, like a comic book level person is supposed to be, like what their character is supposed to be in a comic book version, because that's how powerful Loki is in the comics.
Right.
But the MCU obviously like tones it down a little bit to kind of like meet this little realistic expectation, because we all know that if there is a comic book version of Spider-Man or Iron Man, they would fuck Robert Downey Jr. up. They would definitely stomp out Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because like there's just something about it where, because like, yeah, you know, Spider-Man in the MCU, he can stop a bus or stop a car and everything, but can he stop a Hulk? Can he uppercut that guy up into space like he did in the comics? No, definitely not.
Nah. And I think
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too, because, and I mean, if you notice, we're kind of slowly kind of going in that direction though, and I say that because you look at WandaVision and it's like, yeah, Scarlet Witch, yeah, she's on some other shit now. So it's like we're kind of creeping towards like maybe comic book counterparts actually being a real thing. The only thing is you just have to scale up the big bads at this point. I think going in the direction of Kang, which I just think that's hilarious, that in Ant-Man 3, right, it's been confirmed that Kang is going to be a villain. But it's like, I just think how funny it's going to be. Let's say Ant-Man and Wasp, they prevail, but that's literally only like one Kang out of like the millions that are out there. So,
and the thing is like, Kang is known, like, you'll never catch Kang like that, because of the fact that even, I'll just say, even in like the old cartoons where like the Avengers fought Kang, they just punched him and he's like, okay, I had enough of this, and he'll just bleep out of the timeline.
Right.
They do not, they will never hold King down, as like they'll never put him in prison. So like they'll probably wherever they have to go, because Quantum Mania, people are trying to theorize that the TVA is in the quantum realm. Like that's one of the theories, because they haven't disproven it or really touched on it really, because like the TVA just kind of seems like to be like in this little bubble
Yeah.
outside of time.
Yep.
Which I mean, that's the same thing as the quantum realm, because that's how they're able to time travel. So like maybe they come through that way, and they run into King. But I mean, I don't know. I'm really excited because of the fact that Jonathan Majors, like for me, my experience watching it, I was telling myself literally, I was like, okay, it's not gonna be King. It's not gonna be King. It's gonna be a different
That's
version of Loki.
exactly.
Then
That's
I saw
exactly what I
Jonathan
thought.
Majors just sit there. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I
I
had
was
that
like,
same
oh
reaction.
shit.
I had the same
I was
reaction,
like,
bro.
whoa.
I had the
You
same
see, okay.
exact reaction.
So not to cut you guys off, see that excitement that you guys had right there with all the like the Loki stuff and all like the comic book like deep cut and shit. You gotta also think about it from other people's perspective. Not everybody like reads comics like we do, or like follow like go into details about comics like we do. So all these deep cuts may really like literally mean nothing to people who just want to watch like the Loki character and just see like some action in the
Yeah,
sense of action.
Yeah,
So
but see,
but
here's
that's
people that
why
do that who don't like people who don't read the comics and don't like to read the comics and try to do it, they have this sort of like gatekeeping thing that they like to do, where they're just like, well, they'll see the thing, they'll see a character and they'll be like, oh, this is how a character should be because it's in the movies, and they have no prior knowledge to it. Which like
right.
that's the thing that's the whole reason why the MCU exists, is so that it
to
can, yeah, bring
yeah
in new
extend
readers, but like, yeah, it can create interest for their comic book counterparts so they can look into it. Because
right.
not everything that the MCU puts out is going to touch on all these characters.
Right.
That's
They
true.
they
Right.
literally pick pieces and points of comic books and they try to amalgamate it into one movie or sometimes like a TV show. But like, yeah, like if you didn't understand it, like that's fine. But it's just like, don't say you like I wouldn't say that it affects the story like that. I just would be like, no, I didn't really understand it. I don't know.
But
Right.
So
that's
some
the
people
thing
have
that
different
they
opinions.
probably don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on. So in essence, they just classify it as bad because that's from that perspective, where like all these like extra deep cut Lokis are all showing up and shit. Like even though we were excited to see all these like frog thrower or alligator Loki and all these shit, they're probably like, what
But
the
that's
fuck is
even
all this shit
weirder
about
though.
anyway?
But
Yeah.
that's even weirder though when you say that, because of the fact that old Loki and Kid Loki, they had their purpose.
Yeah, they did.
Even maybe boastful Loki didn't, because the fact that
He was
there
just
was really
there.
like no backstory.
He was just
But
there
it
to
really, that
demonstrate the
whole scene,
backstabbing thing. That's it.
yeah, no, the whole scene basically showcased like what Loki's true nature was in the beginning, where they would stab each other's back. But all these other Lokis right here were literally reflecting past, present, and future, where they're like, okay, this is what I did. I regret doing these mistakes right here. I regret doing this. Like I wish I would have did something else. And like here I am, like we're suffering, and every time we try to fix a broken Loki, we end up over here. Like that's the thing I find that's weird, that people would say like that's a bad scene. Like it's not. It literally serves. It there's a reason why they have that there.
Exactly.
It goes into Loki's development as a character.
See, and that's one thing I want to bring up. It's not just I'm not just saying this case with Jeremy Johns. I've seen other people talk about the same thing too, about how
No, it's a lot.
yeah, a lot of people were saying like, oh, why like Loki's so nerfed now, like how did he do like this and that, and then they're like, yeah, I don't feel like the Sylvie stuff worked. I was just like, how do you? I was just like, listen.
I mean,
listen,
the
listen.
only thing that they really haven't done, which I wanted a flashback of, is Sylvie's backstory, like
Yeah,
how
and
she
extended-
actually like ran.
ex-
Because I do
extended,
find it kind of, yeah,
Yeah, I
do
agree.
kind of find it a little strange that she just knew how to do that. But I mean, that would risk bringing in like a second character. They'd have to like do a backstory of.
What you mean
which,
her enchantment ability?
No,
no, not
just
her
how
enchantment ability,
just
like
how
how
she
she survived so long.
survived. I mean, the only context we got is that she picked up on how they use the temp pads, stole Renslayers, and then ever since then, well, she said initially, she's running to all these different places, but everywhere she went, she created a Nexus event. So she then realized she can slip in between apocalypses and live there only. But it would be nice to get some extra context to how she was able to continue doing all that for so long, because she started when she was a kid, and her and our Loki are basically around the same age, and our
But
Loki
you gotta also remember, whenever she slips into these Nexus event and whatever timeline she stays in, time in the TBA and time in those like actual timeline is not moving at the same pace.
That is true, yeah.
So
No,
she
we
could
know,
spend
but I'm just saying, like,
she could spend like, let's say, about 10 or so years in an apocalypse world where like the TBA may just be like hours or so have passed just in the TBA. So
well, for me, what I mean by that is because of the fact that she's like a little kid. And to us, you know, we don't think little kids are capable of doing something like that to where they're able
she's
to
a
survive.
Loki, bro.
She is a Loki.
Yeah, I know
I
she's a
mean-
Loki,
I mean,
but she's
highly
a child
capable.
though.
Highly capable. I mean, take a look at
Right.
take a look at Kid Loki from, within the
I think
void.
Kid Loki, like the thing is with Kid Loki is some people theorize that you remember that scene in Ragnarok where like Loki ended up turning into a snake and then Thor picked him up and he stabbed him. Like some people theorize that was that moment that he became a variant. Like he stabbed Thor and he died from it. And it wasn't really like on purpose. It was like on accident because like he talks it like he told Loki about it. He's like, I killed Thor, but he doesn't boast about it.
Right.
So it's not like something I think he did out of intention. It might have been
malice.
accidental.
Yeah, it might have been not
Yeah.
like he meant to actually do that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just just.
But
it's
I don't
just
know,
weird.
man. Like these people's opinions are their own. Like
Yeah, they're
fine.
their own.
Like, it's
I'm not
fine
here to
with it.
bash-
It's just that
I'm
I
not here to
don't
bash no one.
understand it.
I hate to bash anyone.
Yeah, I just don't understand the opinions because like I just would think that like people would pick up a little bit on the story and like you got to have character development. Like I know this takes place in 2012 version of Loki, but a lot of stuff is going on and you're in an area where like things basically time has no meaning. Which
Right.
speaking of that,
See, he's able to see
the finale,
past, present, and future. Not to cut you off. I don't think that's what people understand. Is like from the jump, Loki himself acknowledges the kind of person he is. Like when he's talking to Owen Wilson's character Mobius, like he himself tells you, "I am a narcissist. I do these things because I fear that I'm going to be alone." Like it's just that simple. And then he sees his future with he dies from Thanos or whatever. But that hasn't happened for him yet. I don't know if it even is going to happen now because he's outside of time. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
It's definitely not. Like he's way past that. Like they gave him the opportunity where he could kill him, but like that's the thing though. Like Miss Minutes was trying to like fuck him over because we have no idea what Asgardians could do with the Gauntlet. Yeah, we had no idea what Asgardians could do with the Infinity Gauntlet because of the fact that they said Thor could have handled it, but he didn't have the right mental space for it. But we don't know what Loki could do. Like I don't know. That's not the point. Like I just think for the finale, like it was a good teaser for Kang. A lot of people are like trying to figure out like, okay, did Sylvie knock Loki into a different timeline, or was the timeline essentially reset it? Well, because like the way I see it, because like it's kind of confusing to how to put it, but since time doesn't exist, like it's outside of time. I think, I honestly, to me, I think she like knocked him out. I'm just gonna say she knocked him out into a different timeline where like the TVA exists, because the fact like they didn't recognize him, and then all of a sudden they just saw the Kang statue just like right there.
I think I personally, because I was listening to Rob's speculation about it, Comics Explained, and he basically, it made sense the way he said it. Like basically what he said is because that Immortus, like everything reset as soon as Sylvie killed him, everything reset. So the Kang War was in motion at that very point yet again. But because Immortus, another Kang won. And maybe, and here's the kicker that we always forget about. We don't know where the fuck Renslayer went. who's to say she didn't go help some other Kang win? So I think that's what happened. I think she went back, helped that other Kang win that Kang War, and Immortus never won. So I think that's why everything reset. And this version of Kang the Conqueror, he was just like, yeah, nigga, no timekeepers, nothing. I am Kang the Conqueror. You do my bidding. Do it.
Yeah,
that's what
I can definitely see that too. Like, that's honestly, yeah, because I fucking hated Renslayer.
She's a piece of shit.
I really did.
She's a piece of shit.
And I'm not sure if we're gonna see Sylvie again, because like the way it really sucked seeing her. She lost. She lost. She lost, yeah. Whether people want to admit it or not, because the fact that like it's one of those things where it's like killing your enemy just brings you more inner turmoil.
And he told you. He
She doesn't have any purpose.
Yeah, he told you what was gonna happen, and you still went through it.
He was like, "See you soon."
Yeah, and now you're gonna have to see
the hate that she had for him just couldn't disappear. So she ended up like doing herself in by just following through with her own hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, let's say when she did that, whatever Kang that is now the winner of that Kang War, I'm assuming he takes residence there, right? Would he not? Because why would he say see you soon? So which means he probably either captured her or just killed her on the spot when he appeared there. Either of those two things.
Yeah, we have no idea.
So it'll be interesting to see in season 2. I can't wait, but I also can't wait to see, because this really sets up the what if shit that's happened in August and the Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man shit, and then Doctor Strange 2, of course.
There's so much Spider-Man stuff that I didn't really include in the notes because if you guys seen the action figures, I know I'm just gonna say action figures spoiled the movie a lot, whether it's the Legos or just the hot toy versions of it. But if you look at the black suit, the promo for it, the backgrounds are very eerily shot for shot of Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Because you know how Sam Raimi Spider-Man, they have their film grading a little bit orangish,
right?
To where it look like they're about to get nuked by a fat boy or something. It has that sort of orangish tint to it, which people are like, okay, that's definitely Sam Raimi. And then you have Times Square, where Elektra was attacking.
Okay.
So, and they said that suit also is supposed to be from Doctor Strange because, let me pull it up real quick. We got time.
Yeah. I can't wait for Spider-Man 3, man. I know that shit is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. The fact that this nigga's gonna have 3 or 4 different suits is insane. It's just one movie, bro. That shit is gonna be wild.
Hang on, I gotta save it again. I don't know why.
Even though I like the entire Loki series, I'm not as excited for all that shit as you guys are. It's just whatever to me at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why it's exciting for us because of the fact that it's putting everything together from. It's gonna introduce a bunch of new characters. I would say if you are an MCU fan or just a Marvel fan, it's exciting because of the fact that we all know that shit's about to go down. By the end of Phase 4, we're gonna have Fantastic Four come out,
right? And
then possibly some X-Men stuff, and that's so big because of the fact that if you think about it, in 2008, I always say 2008 was such a risky gamble for Iron Man because if that movie did not work out, we would not have Marvel at all.
No.
They were saying
we would, but we wouldn't have the MCU.
No, we would not.
We would just have
something stupid. No, I'm telling you, we would not have Marvel. A lot of characters, I remember looking at it, a lot of the characters were saying they could have went to other properties where Iron Man could have ended up in the DC universe and the DC comics because of the fact that Marvel was really trying to make their money back, and they took that gamble where they made this movie because of the fact that the comic sales were going really bad. The movies were shit because of the fact that Avi Arad didn't want characters to kind of cross over. It would have Marvel would not have existed without Iron Man. Like Iron Man and the MCU is like the only reason why like Marvel is still going.
But then they end up selling the entire Marvel company to Disney, though.
Yeah, they did, but like
Yeah.
at the expense of the MCU being a success, because you got to remember, Izzy, like a lot of the Marvel properties were split up into different
It was.
studio companies. Like Hulk is
That's
Fuck.
still in Universal Studios, and they
that's
will
what I
never
said.
let that
Like
go.
Which is
like
like,
you would have
God.
still had like Marvel shit. It's just you wouldn't have like the MCU interconnected universe. That's what I'm saying. You would still have Marvel
Yeah,
stuff. It would just be a bunch of shitty ass movie like in their own like little corner of the Marvel universe with different studios owning the property. You just want to have
I
the
think
MCU, but it'll still be Marvel.
I think it would be like a handful of characters. Like I think you still would have had like Sam Raimi Spider-Man going all the way to like Spider-Man 11 and like some X-Men stuff maybe, but like you wouldn't have like a Captain America or anything
No,
like that. Like
you probably
I feel
wouldn't.
like that yeah, like as far as like that sort of like level, but like real quick, if you guys see the image, you can
Yeah, I
see how like
saw.
the
It
black suit
looks.
of Spider-Man
It looks
has
sick.
like it has like some Doctor Strange kind of stuff right
Yeah,
here.
he has
This
like
shit don't make no
a
sense.
gauntlet that looks like something that
Yeah,
Doctor Strange conjured
perhaps
up or some shit.
because I saw people talking about this. Perhaps like Doctor Strange, kind of like, how do I say this? Maybe he within the suit's AI puts some sort of like quick spell shit. You know what I mean? Like maybe Peter just clicks a button and it does a quick spell. You know what I'm saying? Like something
Yeah,
minute, like nothing like super powerful, but like he can say, AI do blah 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 blah, and it just does it without him having to like conjure anything. I could see that happening.
yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Since we're like on the topic of Spider-Man, I have a feeling because there's still another deal that needs to be made, from what I've been hearing between Sony and Marvel. I have a feeling that our Tom Holland Spider-Man might not go back to his universe. I feel like he might get trapped in some universe, and I think he might end up in Venom's universe.
That would be insane. But I mean, it's
It would make
crazy.
perfect sense.
It's so crazy now because with the multiverse shit, they really could like do a whole ass of crossovers at this point now. Like Venom
I
could come
mean,
to here over
he
here.
could just
Like
end up
just
over there and like
yeah.
actually think that's his universe anyway, and wouldn't even fucking know the difference if they want to do that shit anyway. Until
Yeah, they
like
could.
somebody like come back and tell him like, Peter, what are you doing? You know this isn't your world, right? He's like, what? It isn't. Then he's gonna like pop up back into his own universe, but they could always make it seem like he settled back in his universe where he actually believed that's his universe, but it isn't really his universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it would make a lot of sense if they did this because if Peter got stuck in another universe at the end of his movie, you could take a slight break from having to do a Spider-Man movie, and then you can include him in all these crossovers with the Sony universe.
Exactly.
You can
Yeah.
you can have that Venom sequel where Spider-Man's in there, or in the Morbius or wherever the fuck, I don't know where he takes place in, but apparently he's supposed to be in the MCU from what Tyrese Gibson is saying. I guess he's in that movie.
Shit. What kind of
But
superpowers does he have in that movie?
probably screaming. That's all he can do.
So what? He's gonna be fucking Black Bolt. Oh no.
Probably
They,
screech or
they already
something.
tried. They already tried that. That didn't work. So he's gonna be a police officer
Bro,
who's
I
under
hope to
down his
God,
salary.
I hope to God they did not bring the what is it, the Inhumans back in. Like the Inhumans is probably the worst.
I think the
Like,
Eternals already took that spot now. They're not bringing those motherfuckers back.
I mean, thank God, because the fact that like the internals, and like again, this is like I guess you really like don't read comics like that, or if you do, but or no, you
I
haven't
do.
seen
I
Loki.
just don't. Not recently though.
Well, if you've seen that Loki, like the reason why I guess people have been excited, I'm kind of repeating myself, is that like when they talked about Nathan Richards like that, people are like, fuck, they set this thing in. They pretty much teased Apocalypse because Beam, you saw that Ramatut Egyptian statues right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
teased Apocalypse, they teased Secret Wars, they teased Iron Lad, which apparently is like a version of Kang, I
Of
guess.
Kang as a
But
kid. Yep.
they teased all these things they had lined up for the future. Like, I don't know. that's a lot. That's more than what MCU has done so far. But I'm done off this.
Well, that's the thing, though. They could tease all this shit, and most of it wouldn't come to fruition anyway. It's just how
No,
like
not
they.
now. Obviously,
No.
I think over the course of Phase 4, 5, and 6, whatever, if they're grouping them in threes, I think it's gonna take a while to set a lot of this shit up. This is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like these things can be way down the line because there's things we haven't even really talked about, like in terms of like other things are setting up, like Dark Avengers and Thunderbolts, and you know all these different things that they have. There's a lot of shit.
I still wish Black Widow would have came out in 2017.
Yeah, the more I thought about
really
it, especially after the last episode, yeah, man, it just would have been so cool had it have been the end credit scene would have been, yeah, this is the person responsible for Natasha's death, and we're just left there until Endgame to figure out, wow, what? Why would Hawkeye do that? No way, you know, like that shit would have been sick as fuck, bro. Yeah, that would have been so cool. But I mean, it is what it is. We got it now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
It is.
But I think this little cool blurb here, because I know you guys watched it, is it really felt like Deadpool's in the MCU now because of that. Just that small video he did with Korg.
Wasn't that pretty much a trailer for Deadpool going into
I think so.
The MCU?
I think so. It's
That's
supposed
the most
to promote
Deadpool thing that you could do.
Supposed to promote Deadpool 3, and then obviously he was Ryan Reynolds was just promoting his other Free Guy movie. I mean, he was just making fun of himself and stuff, but
That
really
movie is owned by Disney, so they can do that.
Yeah, and it's cool, man. I'm so happy they're keeping Deadpool 3 rated R because it needs to just stay the way it is. You can't do it any other way. You know what I'm saying? So
honestly,
can be throwing F-bombs around in PG-13 movies, man.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it for MCU because and this is the kind of thing that's gonna suck with Wolverine, because for some reason there's this policy they have where no one smokes in the MCU at all. Everyone is just non-nicotine smokers. They might, I don't even say they won't show it. They might allude to someone getting high, but you'll never see anyone smoking.
They may have to change their mind once Wolverine gets in the mix.
Yeah,
because that guy is never going nowhere without a cigar.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's why people were talking about the possibility of them making an anthology series of Wolverine for Disney Plus, which I think is the best thing that you could do, because he has so much history compacted with his character, or layered, that you need to turn into a series, not to a movie. Because I rewatched some of the X-Men movies, the old ones like X-Men 2 and 3, and they lightly scratched the surface. And not even X-Men Origins really helped either, because they showed it, but they just showed the Weapon X stuff a little bit. They didn't show any of the missions where he encountered any of the other characters around the world. And then they're just yeah, he has adamantium on his bones. That's it. Oh yeah, and Will.i.am is a mutant too. So there you go.
That shit was the weirdest part of seeing that man in that movie. I was just what the fuck?
How the fuck does a teleporter lose to a nigga with cat claws? Is my thing. It's not like Sabretooth had precognition. You're a teleporter and you somehow have predictable movements, man. Fuck out of here. Will.i.am, you could never do a freestyle in my books, because that means you can't think off the top of your head.
Oh yeah, but yeah, man,
crazy.
It's awesome. I can't wait to see, who appears in Deadpool 3. I'm sure they're gonna use probably some minor characters. I don't think it'll be anyone major. Just for the.
He might bring it into the universe, because you got to think too. I wonder if they're gonna bring in Josh Brolin's Cable.
Oh, yeah.
Because Thanos is already dead, and the whole thing with the multiverse, anyways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? For me, at least, the movies that I was watching, I've been watching actually a lot of TV shows, not really movies. There's only one. I watched the Watchmen, Chernobyl. I watched the Flash episode just because of the fact that they had Barry Allen's kids come in. I'll get into that a little bit. Kind of going off a list, but like Daredevil season 3, and like I finished Punisher season 1. Um, like Watchmen, like I think I said it before, like last week, that like where my mind is at, like I don't really like shows that are like 23 episodes long because it's filled with a bunch of filler. I would
Mm-hmm.
much rather see like a limited series where it's like 6 to 8 episodes, where you're basically just gonna get nothing but content and it gets straight to the point. And like Watchmen is kind of different. I expected it to be a little bit like Lovecraft Country, where it's like it's centered around racism and you know people have all these sort of different power sets and things like that. But um, I don't know. Like I feel like I need to watch the movie to get more context because the
Well,
last
that
time I saw Watchmen, like Rorschach was like
well the thing
working with.
is, with the Watchmen show, that one's more so based off, like the way I understand it. I still need to finish it. I got like halfway
The
through.
Watchmen show,
The
that
Watchmen
one is
show is
based on the comics
and
itself, but
it's based on the comics, and it's like extra additive to the comic
but if
story. It's
Yeah,
it
not
like
does help if you watch the
associated.
movie. The only
Yeah.
difference between the Watchmen show and the comics is like in the movie, like instead of using like the octopus as what's his name, Asmodeus using in the comics, he used Dr. Manhattan's ability to destroy the world. So
Right.
that's just the only difference. But everything else that
oh
happened
so
is pretty much like the
so Doctor Manhattan didn't destroy New York in the
no.
Watchmen.
No, it
No.
was
Oh, okay.
No,
Because
Armadeus.
that
Yeah.
was the thing.
In the movie he did Asmodeus frame
Because
him
that
like
was the one thing that
evil.
I was confused about. Because I was like, okay. I was like, no one's talking about New York being destroyed by Doctor Manhattan. I was like,
No.
what's going on? Like
In
they
the
showed
comics,
him like in Mars.
Asmodeus was the one who actually did that shit with his interdimensional ability. I mean, he kind of like a little bit like use what Dr. Manhattan's ability is, which is like the dimensional rift shit.
Teleportation.
Yeah, and yeah, but
Yeah.
he used it in the sense that he made those like squids and made everybody believed it was like aliens that attacked, like psychic aliens squid from space,
Yeah.
and it made the
Okay.
entire world band together to like become like pretty much the same exact result that you got at the end of the movie, where everybody was like one in the world trying to like fight this extraterrestrial like ability, but instead they will focus that anger on Dr. Manhattan. In this, like in the
Oh.
show itself, they focus their attention on like this psychic squid from space.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, because I definitely guess I need to read the comics and to get more context from it. But yeah, there's that. Chernobyl is this one's gonna be kind of interesting, guys, because I'm not gonna lie. I like the way that this is going, and this is the same guy that's directing the Last of Us TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and the way like the film grading, the way that they have the characters being written. I think Last of Us would probably be a really good, or yeah, Last of Us would probably be a really good HBO show because of the fact that like Chernobyl is like basically taking place moments after like the power plant exploded, and it's kind of crazy because like you have these characters like who are denying that thing is like nothing's going wrong despite the fact there's a massive hole in the roof, and like they're showing these characters slowly getting radiation sickness. Like one guy, he's like talking because of the fact that when the explosion happened, he had to have a meeting, like an emergency meeting, and then he was like, "Yeah, we should have some," and just started throwing up. And he said, "Oh," he said, "My apologies," and just like fell out. And then like people are having like these blisters and like I said, radiation burns and stuff like that. But like the officials are not saying anything at all, and they're like everything is fine, like you don't have to worry about nothing.
But that's
Like,
how it always is,
but
though. People like to cover up
it
shit
is.
until it's too late, and everybody's dying and having limbs falling off and shit before then they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, this is really bad." But guess what? All the people who are in charge probably have evacuated to somewhere safe and leaving
Oh no,
everybody
they're
else
still
behind.
there. That's the
But
thing. Like they're so much in denial that they're staying there, and then they're saying like no one else can leave. So it's pretty much like a death sentence. And like I said, you're right. These people's limbs are like falling off. One guy, he went into the radiation room and he was like trying to hold the door open, so that the people, like his coworkers, can look inside the room to see like how bad the damage was. And by the time they leave and he closes the door, this guy's bleeding out of his ass. Like he's like bleeding everywhere. He has like these blood spots coming out of him, and he's just like, yeah, mate, this ain't doing so well. Like for some reason they have like English accents, which is kind of weird because like
That's Russia.
you know Chernobyl takes place in Russia. Yeah, and I honestly I want it to feel authentic. Like I don't really care that if shows that take place in the area that it's being filmed in, if they have their native language.
Yeah, they could just speak in that and just reach.
Yeah, because like I don't mind reading subtitles at all. Like if I can watch Parasite, I can watch Chernobyl like in Russian. Like I would honestly prefer that. But I would say if you guys wanted to watch a movie, I would watch it in small bites because of the fact there's a lot of information being compacted in there. Like it's very dialogue heavy. Yeah, watch that like kind of like bit by bit. I guess real quick, like with like the Daredevil stuff, because I tried to get Beam on that on those shows for the longest time, and then when he finally bit the bullet, I knew he'd love it.
I don't know why I was so against.
You were adamant against.
Yeah, I was just like, I would make up
this shit right here.
I would make up a fucking excuse. I was like, I'm not really into Daredevil. He's corny to me. And then I actually watched it. I was like, okay, this shit ain't corny, bro.
You never saw Daredevil, dude?
No. I have.
Oh my god, bro.
No, I have.
For shame, bro.
No. I watched them. It took me a long while to watch them, is what I'm saying. I didn't just watch them. I've watched all of the Netflix shows at this point.
I think you watched it like maybe 2 years ago because
I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Because when it first came out, I was like, bro, I was like, Daredevil. I said, you gotta watch that movie, that Netflix show. I was like, because I said it's not like the Ben Affleck one where he's like playing with Elektra on a swing set or something like that. Like this guy is fucking throwing hands in a hallway with complete like and with prime focus and precision. And then he said, yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch it. And I was like, all right. And then when he finally did, he was like, bro, this. I was like, nigga, I told you. I told you.
Because it was because of how good Daredevil was that Punisher was actually even introduced and got his own show.
Exactly, yeah. And Punisher's real great too.
Rob, I like
Punisher.
I like Punisher probably more than Daredevil just because of the fact that like I really like seeing I like seeing just like stories that involve like military like past and stuff like that, and it's just like it's interesting seeing Frank the way he is. And I had to like kind of go back because I was like, at what point? I was like, how did Frank end up in here? Because like the first episode, he's all bearded up, smashing a hammer into a wall, and then he has like dick coworkers and stuff like that. Like I was like, man. I said, we'll see how this goes. Like I wasn't saying that as like, oh, let's see how bad this gets. I was like, man, where's this gonna go?
Yeah, it doesn't take very long for him to relapse. I'll tell you that.
I don't know, like
yeah.
Like my favorite kind of Punisher was that one movie, Punisher Warzone. I don't know, I still like that one, even over all the other Punisher movies. Like that one was just crazy hardcore, man.
That one was definitely hardcore. That's pretty much like on the same level as this Punisher right here. Like when that dinner scene in Warzone, he like lopped that lady's head off with a machete. I was like, God damn. Yeah, he just said, tink.
That like he was not taking any like chances with people in that movie, bro. Like even Jigsaw was fucking enjoyable in that movie. Like he was just straight up psychotic. I really
I like the first Punisher movie, but I like it for nostalgia's sake because I don't know, like I'm not sure if you guys can really notice this, but you know how like movies in the 90s and like now are completely different. Like the film grading and everything, like shit just looks 90s. Like I don't know what people had.
Yeah, what they were using back then, but like,
because I know this is back in a time where people had metal trash cans and shit right here, and like that's what all I saw. I was like, damn. Oh, this kind of. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the Punisher. Yeah, I love the Punisher as a character.
John Bernthal. He actually made me like Punisher because for a long time I just never really cared for Punisher. But when I watched the show, I was like, and John Bernthal's a really good
Have you seen Warzone, by the way?
No, I've never watched that one.
You need to watch Warzone.
Yeah, you gotta watch that, especially if you want like a John Berthenol experience. Like he does it pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not played by the same one from the first one. Like Thomas Jane was the first Punisher, but
No,
yeah, I definitely watched
Ray
that.
Stevenson or whatever his name was. He was the one who played Punisher in that one. And
I ain't
like
gonna lie, Ray Stevenson looks really
Menace in
accurate
this.
to
Yeah, he does, bro. Like it's
no,
uncanny
like,
how
he's
like
like
he.
this guy is like bulky as fuck. Like he looks like a madhouse with a gun. Like yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, again for like the last TV show until I get to like the movie I want to talk about the Flash War they got going on. Boy, that shit is still stupid as hell, but they at least introduced Bart and Nora Allen again.
Yeah, I saw bits and
And
pieces of that on YouTube. I didn't actually watch it, but I just
yeah, I
thought
did
that was
too. I didn't
funny.
want to watch the whole episode. Man, I don't know what they did to Godspeed's voice because he was originally voiced by BD Wong. He was also Izzy, if you remember Gotham. He was
Yeah,
gosh, who was that doctor?
Doctor, what's his
Oh,
name?
Hugo Strange.
Godspeed's
Yeah, he was
new
Hugo
voice
Strange.
is so bad.
He sounds like a Power Ranger villain, bro. Like he's just like, come on, Flash, let's go. Like, I'm like, why did you voice him like that?
It's terrible.
And then they had these scenes. There's a scene where like Joe and I guess her name was Allegra or something. They're driving down the street, and like people are trying to leave Central City because of the fact that they're getting terrorized by these like white little batteries fighting each other, and like Allegra almost crashed the car because someone drove on the opposite side of the road, but they went to the far left, like which would basically be like to their far right, and this bitch drives directly in front of that car because she was in the left lane, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who? I don't know why they wrote it like that, but it looked so stupid. It looked like she tried to commit suicide by like vehicular like suicide or something. And then yeah, once that was solved and they didn't die, these Godspeeds like started fighting each other. They jumped on their car and it looked like Rock'em Sock'em robots fighting each other. And bro, the CGI is just so trash. It's so
terrible,
trash,
dude.
the way
Awful.
that they're just fighting each other because they're like and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like,
Did you see that part where they were just on top of this man Joe's car hood and just
they
going
actually
back and forth?
slipped.
Yeah,
No, the
like
funny thing is they actually slipped where they got up. They said, "Oh shit," and like pushed themselves up just so they could start fighting. It's just like
it is just awful.
why did they teleport? Why did they run to Joe's car specifically? Like, why didn't they just like, I don't know,
Random
go
auto
right
cars,
in front of
bro.
the street or fight in the street? Their choreography, it just didn't make any sense. I was looking at this, I was like, okay, you know what? Flash is not getting any better. Like, the characters aren't going to get any better at all. Like, for some reason, they put this plot point in here where like Iris has this sort of sickness where she will slip in and out of the timeline. I don't know when this started,
What?
but I guess it just started happening. Yeah, she started slipping out of the timeline, and so they had to rely on this one guy who had the still force to keep her inside the timeline. And then she somehow met Bart and Nora Allen. Like, the only good thing about those two is that like Jordan Fisher knows how to act, and they made Nora Allen like way more mature. Because the first one, it's really like, weird seeing Nora Allen. Yeah, no, like seeing her act like a teenager when she's actually 30 in real life. Like, she looks young, yeah, but like she doesn't look that young. And they made her actually act her age. She's like the bigger sister. But next week's episode, man, is about to be ridiculous as fuck because they teased basically you got Flash, you got Jay Garrick,
and freaking Transformer Cisco is back again.
Yeah, Cisco the Mecha Godzilla is back, and then somehow, which I don't understand how this is even fair, because all these Godspeeds are here, but they got the Nora Allen Speed Force to fight alongside Barry with Iris somehow getting her speed back. I was just like, bro,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I said, how?
Oh my god, you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna have some bullshit talk with the Nora Speed Force, and then she's gonna look at Iris. She said, "The speed has always been in you." And just touch her and then fucking
and taser twice. And
yeah, then she's gonna get a speed back.
She's like, "I feel the power."
Oh no!
He said, "You can do it, mother."
I mean, I expect that to happen because of the fact that they said it was Iris who still had the spark inside her. So where she's the reason why the Speed Force got brought back to life, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my God.
Somehow, like, I guess they said Barry's Speed Force electricity that shocked her gave her the ability.
What if I just got a crazy idea because of that spark thing? What if they completely went left and had Iris take the role of what's his name? Fuck, why am I forgetting his name? Wally. Like, what if she's the conduit for the Speed Force? Like, with every, you know how it is in the comics, like with her running, she creates the, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't surprising because they didn't bring Wally back because Keenan Lonsdale is not coming back to act at all. Like he's doing movies or he's doing like music and shit.
Right.
He's not coming back. They'll mention him, but
they just mention him in background passing, talking about he's meditating. What kind of meditation takes for freaking 5 years meditating?
Yeah, right.
Man.
They said his plane of existence is not in this realm. Like, how do you fucking know that? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. But this last movie I want to talk about real quick is called The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Man, A24. They know how to do their movies so well, and it always stands out where it's like just completely different from like modern cinema as a whole. And like again, like this film was recommended me to a friend, and like I was watching it not really knowing what to expect, but goddamn, the cinematography in this is so well done. Like I can't even explain. Like the best way I explained it was like listening to a Frank Ocean album for the first time. Like, just act like you've never listened to like Channel Orange or like Blonde, and you listen to it the first time. That's how the experience of watching the movie went, because it's centered around like these two best friends who are trying to upkeep their house. The character named Jimmy, they're trying to like keep up this Jimmy's house that was originally owned by his grandfather, and they had like this story where like Jimmy's grandfather built that house, but they lost it at some point because it's like a whole thing about gentrification, because San Francisco was really known for being like one of the most gentrified areas, you know, as much like Tacoma, because like Tacoma's definitely gotten gentrified, and so they're trying to like take this house back and like still keep up like the appearance of it, because people who moved in, they didn't care about the appearance at all. They let like vines grow over the garage and stuff like that. And they showed a lot of things on here that, like, I ain't gonna lie, the movie kind of hit me that I didn't expect. There's a point in time where like these characters were trying to like, you had these characters that kind of like symbolize like the stereotypical like gangbanger and stuff like here. Like they're like they're standing on the side of the street talking shit to each other, but they're the only ones left in that show, or in San Francisco, so they talk shit to each other. And then you had this one character here who was too afraid of showing himself, so he fucked up and he ended up getting himself shot because he tried to stunt on someone else. Jeez. And at one point in the movie, Jimmy finds out that he's dead. He got shot. And he's like, what happened? He's like, I just saw y'all yesterday because y'all talked shit to me like the other day. And the scene that got me was when like one of the people from the street was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. And you think they're about to fight, but he ends up breaking down crying right in front of him, like hugging him. I was like, bro, I had never seen nothing like that before. Like, because you know, you would think movies like that, when it comes to like black masculinity, and I don't mean to get into that whole like realm of like masculinity and toxic masculinity, they just show that where like instead of him like breaking down and like showing pain, he's like, I gotta fuck this guy up. No, they don't do that here. Like they're like, okay, it's okay to be vulnerable. Like the whole theme about this movie is like friendship and vulnerability. And they have Jonathan Majors actually being a character in here too. He's really good. I think they don't really say it, but I think he has autism, because when you see him in the movie, if you watch it, there's a point in time where he's like creating this play, and he'll walk up to like the gangsters or like the guys on the street, and he'll be like, yes, he's like, keep doing that, you're doing really good, and they're like, bro, who are you? He's like, you're like no director, man, like what are you doing? He's like trying to be like a thespian and like direct like what they're doing, and he's just like, you're good, keep going. It's honestly, it's such a really good movie. Like I'm such a fan of A24. These are the same guys that did Sorry to Bother You and the mid '90s, that one movie that Jonah Hill did with the skateboarding. So yeah, honestly, if you want to watch a movie that's completely different, definitely watch that. Definitely watch that shit.
Yeah, bet. Sounds pretty dope.
So,
pretty dope.
Yeah. I will say though real quick, if you are gonna watch it, like just keep an open mind to it, because it does start off kind of slow, but like it gets a lot better as it goes on. But yeah, that's what I'll say.
Gotcha.
We still on the movies because we gotta.
I mean, this is kind of in the realm of movies. The Don Cheadle thing, we could end movies.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of stuff in the entertainment thing, but let's go on to this Don Cheadle because this guy somehow got nominated for an Emmy in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He wasn't even in that movie. I mean, that show.
He was there. You don't remember? He had a small. He had the smallest of small cameos, bro.
He had a 98-second cameo, and he somehow got a nomination. Yet, the guy who played as Isaiah Bradley didn't get a nomination at all.
Right. Like, how the
See why people don't take these award shows freaking seriously?
Yeah, because they're fucking
trash.
trash.
People don't watch the movies.
Yeah, they're fucking trash, bro.
I think a lot of people theorize that they did this nomination to kind of like appease Don Cheadle because they never gave him a nomination apparently. So they're just like, oh, okay, well he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so we'll just give it to him. Because people who watch who are in the Emmys don't really watch.
They never gave him any nomination recently or something, so they just choose.
I guess so. That's what people are saying. That's what some people are saying.
Though. Very stupid.
It is a stupid reason because it's just like it's not even genuine. It's not even close. But there's that, man. It didn't make any sense. He's confused. He's just like, I don't know what's going on, but I guess sure.
I take it.
Yeah. That's basically his response.
I don't even think he gives a shit about that anyway.
He doesn't.
It's probably laughable to him.
No, I don't think a lot of people who are good-hearted kind of care about the Emmys. Like Elizabeth Olsen doesn't care about the Emmys because someone asked her that. They're like, "Are you hoping to act to get the Emmy nomination?" She's like, "No." What's wrong with you? Like,
yeah,
that's a stupid reason to act. That's ridiculous.
That's the same. It's the same thing. It could be applied to like music and Grammys and shit. Nigga, fuck that shit, man. Do it because you actually like doing it. Like, don't do it for recognition. Like, it's
because
not...
that all that other shit will come eventually anyway. If you
and even if it doesn't, it don't matter. It's a fucking piece of fucking metal. Like, bro, you're good. You don't need that external validation if you know you're doing your damn thing. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But there's this one thing I didn't include in the topics too. I'm not sure if you guys saw. Some sick fuck was talking about the girl who plays 11 in the Stranger Things. You know her. You probably know her name. Millie Bobby Brown. This sick fuck right here. This nigga was 20 years old. She was 16 because they apparently dated last year. He went on Instagram, basically talked about how she like sucked dick and all that other shit.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is about people who seem to want to groom Millie Bobby Brown because we've seen this shit with Drake, this weirdo, where he's just talking to like a 15-year-old, and I don't know what it is. It really makes me not want to have a daughter because it makes me a little terrified because grown men essentially are just trying to groom them to be basically theirs. Like, I don't know. It's gross. This guy right here, he's just like, yeah, she did this right here, man. Like she did
And
this,
he's putting this
Oh.
on social media.
bro. The
How
camera
come
was
that's fool?
facing
How
his
come this
face.
fool isn't fucking banned yet?
You can't. I mean, you're not gonna get banned for that. But like Millie Bobby Brown's PR was just like, yeah, we gotta go into this right here because this guy is just talking reckless right here because. I don't
Was
want
any
to
of
There's
that
a lot
true?
of
Was
sick
any of that
fucks.
true, or is he just like?
It was true. It was true because there's pictures of them like hugging and kissing each other and stuff like that, which is like again, it's gross because what kind
Wouldn't
of
he get
grown man at the
arrested?
age of
Isn't
20?
he like pretty much like get himself set up to get arrested?
Yeah, because she's underage.
I ain't
Fucking
gonna
fool,
lie,
bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the laws apply to you when you have money. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I feel like it doesn't
No.
work like that unless people press charges or she presses charges. He's not gonna see any jail time. He's not gonna get any sort of like uh any sort of repercussions of anything because he has the money for it. But
Right.
it's just, yeah, it is statutory rape. That's like statutory rape 101. And yeah, he's just like flatly admitted out like that. And yeah, I just don't know why she's the one's like specifically getting targeted. And just like speaking of which, didn't Beam, who was that one female artist? Georgia was her name? Georgia Smith?
Georgia Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Drake try to do the same thing and she curved that guy?
Yeah, cause but I just found, cause he talked about it in his Jaded song, which that song is honestly, it's a great song, but when you put it in the context of that he's talking about Georgia, it's like, nigga, you have a history of playing people. What made you think that her being as young as she is, she's like in her 20s, like early 20s, right? What made
She's
you
like our
think,
age.
Yeah, she's our age. What made you think that she was gonna stick around for the long haul? Honestly, like, yeah, she curved the shit out of him. Well, I mean, it's a great song. Listen to it, but when you listen into the context that he's talking about Georgia, it's actually kind of funny. Like, he was like, what was one of the lines? He was like, drove me to your family's house like 2 hours away for what? I was like, nigga, what? You fucking went to her house, nigga? Oh, no. He said, told me about all your insecurities for what? It's like, nigga, you fell for that? Like, come on, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's weird. It's really weird when grown men do this. And like, another person right here too is Billie Eilish, bro. When she started to come out of that thick baggy clothing of hers, people were lusting after her, and it was like it seemed predatory.
I think that's precisely
so
why. But that's that kind of give and take thing. I think that's precisely why she tried not to be herself. I think she felt like she would get sexualized, and then now that she's like about to be, in her 20s or whatever, she's like 19 now, right? She's about to be 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess she felt like, let me just do me. It sucks though. That's just what society is. You have a lot of weirdos. I mean, even before then, before she started like kind of, embracing her sexuality, I guess there were people still sexualizing her, even when she was a minor, dude. It's disgusting, bro.
It really is, because it's kind of concerning when you're seeing comments that, like, when she did that one music video with her friends and stuff, people are in the comments like grown men who you can see their faces, and sometimes they'll have pictures with their family, which I never understand why people do that. They'll have pictures of them and their fucking kids, and they'll be like, I've been waiting a long time for this. Like, disgusting.
Yeah, niggas are just fucking weirdos.
This shit is so gross. Again, here's a third example. That one girl, that Catch Me Outside girl, when she did that OnlyFans stuff, where she took those pictures before she turned 18, by the way, people were like, man, I've been nah.
God. Wait, dude. What the
I don't
fuck?
like that at all. I can't stand.
Fucking-
If people are like that, people ever approach me with the conversation like, bro, you seen Billie Eilish? Nah. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah,
That's fucking weird.
I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I'm not.
People who can't fuck with people their own age. I would say like if there's like, for me personally, it's like a 3-year difference. But even then, I can't even do that. It would probably be like 3 to 2. But people who are going after people who just freshly turned 18 or 19, like
there's something that's
you got some
crap.
predatory intentions going on there, buddy. Like
Yeah,
I ain't feeling that.
It's disgusting.
But
What were we talking about again?
That was like we went off on a tangent.
We went off a tangent. But basically, I was just talking about how like people just kind of who target these young girls and kind of like try to tailor and groom them to kind of be theirs. Like it's like a classic Woody Allen situation where the nigga married his adopted daughter, and like they groomed him. They groom these girls, and then like when they turn 18 or something like that, they're like, well, legally I can lust after her now. I don't have to hide my face anymore. And these would be guys with like families that have kids and stuff like that. Just a really gross situation.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But yeah, other than that,
pretty much shit that's been going on since ancient time. Law just fucking like pretty much keep them at bay somewhat.
Not even at bay, they just openly fucking do it now. Like they don't.
Yeah, no, they openly do it. Which I mean, you're right. It is like ancient times, and like things do change. But I mean, it still doesn't make it any less wrong. Like
yeah.
Oh, that's fucking wrong as shit. I was just saying like it's just now we like. It's easier to fucking identify sometimes easier to identify these fucking weirdos and lunatics out there, but the internet.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a sick world out
there. You guys want to? Yeah, it's a sick fucking world. You guys want to get into the gaming section?
Yeah. Sounds like a good.
It's not a whole lot of gaming going on here.
There really is.
You recently reached diamond rank in Apex, huh?
Yeah, it's oh man, it's been a fucking rough road, dude. And currently, me and the boys were trying to get to Masters, and God, I was tell you right now, that shit is different, bro. Like, if you do not have communication on lock, if you do not have your rotations right, if you are not aware, you get eaten alive. And the fucking meta right now is so trash. I'm just gonna tell you what the meta is right now. Revenant, Octane. That's literally it. You put a fucking Octane pad down, put your Revolt down, and you wipe a squad. That's literally it. Yep. People just jump on you.
Octane is pretty annoying.
He is, and it's worse with Revenant because I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of wish they didn't because Revenant has a really high pick rate now because they updated his kit. So like he has like pretty much infinite climb now, and his climbing is really quiet. So if you're up somewhere up high, you need to look around because niggas can just climb on you and just fucking.
Revenant will find you. That guy, he's like Spider-Man now. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I saw a video of it where like one guy was just like, "Yo, I think our Revenant's here," and they look at the end of the building, and they're just like, "Come here, nigga." He's like,
I even knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah, like, cause I saw it, I was like, okay, I ain't gonna lie, that's a little creepy. Because like, can you imagine?
No, it is.
It
really is, bro.
If they actually had Apex in nighttime, and you just see like a glowing pair of eyes just crawling up a building, just like just going up the building.
Yeah, dude, like that shit is insane. Like it just, and then it doesn't help too that he got his heirloom, which arguably is the best heirloom in the game at this point. I can't even lie, his scythe is sick, but that whole meta it really sucks. Yeah, but we're still trying to push through. Like I had a couple of good games yesterday. I was playing with some randoms because my buddy had hopped off. But yeah, like it's just hard even getting to Diamond 3. Like it's just there's just so much shit you have to do. But I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been discouraged yet. I'm still planning on trying to get to Masters. I at least want to just do it once. Like if I could get to Masters, fuck Predator. Like that is too much. Like, that's the top 750 players. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and fucking constantly play ranked over and over and over to keep my rank. Like, I'm not doing that.
You don't want to be the best, man?
No, fuck that.
You want to be the best in the world?
You don't want to be a Pokemon master? Did they already do the split already?
Yeah, this is the second split, so this is basically before, like, we have, like, 16 days before Season 10. So we're trying to do that.
Okay.
We're trying to... we have plenty of time. I think we can honestly get it done. We just have to, like, tighten up is all. But yeah,
by the time you're done with this, you're gonna be a sergeant or something. These guys gonna have military experience. Izzy, you might have some competition as a captain right here because you got Master Chief Beam over here.
And tactical experience will be like,
yeah.
Every time we're playing like casual Apex, he's like, "What are you guys doing, man? I told you 6'4", 6'4". West 9.
Yeah.
Nah, never that. Never that.
Gonna have some silent hand emotes to tell us where we're supposed to go. I'll be like, bro, how'd you do that? He's like 40, go. Better Bravo, Echo,
He's
Echo.
like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nah, it is kind of crazy, like the call outs, man, because Wraith really is different. You gotta be like, oh, Wraith Flash, focus. Like, it's just. I can't lie though. There is something funny. There's just something fun and funny about it though. It's like man, it's like killed or be killed, bro. Like honestly, if you land with more than one squad, you're in trouble and that's another thing too. If you think third parties are bad in pubs, dude, oh god, it is so bad in rank, bro. You will literally you have to put a timer on yourself. Like, let's say we're engaging this squad right now. Let's just say we're the only squads in the area. One of the things to do, if your fight is going on for too long, you just pull out. Because more chances than not...
You're pretty much alerting everybody in the area to come and shoot at your head.
Exactly. More often than not, some other fuckheads are going to come over and just shoot you in the back and get all the KP. So, it sucks.
Yeah, see, it's already taking effect right now. He's done sit like 3 words out and not fucking understand.
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
He said KP. He even called... Yeah, you already here talking about pubs and stuff right here. This guy is a fucking veteran right here.
Veteran?
He's now a professional.
Yeah,
far from a professional, bro. Like, I still need to work on my aim, bro. Like, sometimes I'll be fucking up. Like, it's just a lot, bro. I mean, I have been doing like a little bit of like warm up shit, like that I used to do. Remember back then in season 5, I used to do like a little warm up shit for my aim. I started doing that again because I just hate missing, man. It sucks. But speaking of Apex, there's also this Thrill Seekers event going on, which actually brought back the Voidwalker skin yet again, so I was able to snag it this time. That Wraith skin is one of the best skins, like honestly. The Thrill Seekers event, because I don't know if you guys have played recently at all, it's just kind of centered around arenas, basically. They added a new arena map that's different from all the other ones. Kind of like have lanes going on, and it's an interesting map. I like it. I don't really play arenas that much, though. Honestly, I prefer BR, personally. But it's cool. And then so for season
I know
BR Battle Royale, dude. These niggas, bro.
You're gonna have to catch us up on your acronyms and stuff, bro. Because now we're lost.
Bro, he has no time for that, bro.
All right, you gotta get to the point really quickly, right?
The enemy is right behind us. If he don't time himself, the acronyms are important. We're gonna fucking die. We're already dead right now.
Because by the time I'm saying, hey guys, there are 2. Nope, we're already dead by then. So he just gotta like abbreviate everything and just put everything in acronyms. This guy, we got 2 bogeys over there.
Yeah. Nah, never that. But the new legend, I told you a little bit about it, Izzy. But the new legend for season 10, his name is apparently going to be Seer, and they released this little short thing.
He's a chef.
No, SEER, like a seer. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who can see like the future. Okay. I believe. I don't think his abilities are really like based like that. From what I gather, he's supposed to be like another recon character, and he has like a moth theme. He's like apparently cursed, and it's pretty funny because there was some leaked voice lines, and it seems like Revenant might have a friend. Oh, you know, it's like Revenant's finally maybe he won't be
Revenant
such a
making
shithead.
friends. That guy's a freaking evil bastard. He's making friends. That's just bad for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Seer's supposed to be like some sort of recon character. He's supposed to have he's like a moth themed legend. He's supposed to have like a moth drone or something like that. I don't know what his abilities are gonna be, but sounds interesting. So we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for me on the gaming side. So yeah, this Valve. I looked into this. The
Valve Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah,
that shit looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looks cool.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was skeptical. I mean, I'm still a little iffy on it because of the fact that, like, to be honest, not a lot of Steam products work that well. Like, they haven't really been sold like, because you have the Steam Link, which I have. I literally bought that thing for $1 because of the fact that it sold so poorly that they literally sold it for $1 to lose all the stock in it.
Oh my god.
The Steam controller didn't work because of the fact they had poor mapping issues and stuff like that, and customer service was not a help at all. And then, when they try to have the Steam console, which are basically Alienware, I don't know why you would have Alienware. Everyone should know. If anyone is listening out here, if you can hear me, Alienware is not a good company to go for as far as PC gaming. If you look inside that shit, it does not make any sense. You cannot upgrade, you can't do anything. When Beam was trying to look for a computer and he looked at Alienware, and I was looking inside the specs of the computer where you had the GPU put at the bottom of the PC case, that's how you know it's not it ain't it. That is not it. You do not want a PC where you cannot upgrade. Yeah, you do not want a PC that you cannot upgrade, because that is one of the worst.
Yeah.
They're using some nuts and bolts that I've never seen before. Have you ever seen a triangle nut? I haven't. Not up until now. Not up until that Alienware thing.
That's crazy.
That shit made no sense to me.
Of course, that I do so. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, this handheld thing looks really cool because it's essentially, it's not even just a PC.
It's just
you get to play like PC.
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. I was just gonna say
because
that shit is it look boss, man. Yes.
No, it is, and it's basically it's just a PC. It's essentially a PC because you don't even have to just download Steam. You can download Origin. You can download like Rockstar stuff.
Yeah, any OS you want to use, bro. Like operating system. And besides, if you don't want to use the Steam OS, you could like format that shit and download Windows on that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really just a computer.
That is fucking dope, dude.
What's that shit called? The other operating system that people like to use besides Windows.
Yeah,
Linux.
It's honestly really cool to see this because of the fact that we haven't really. I'm not gonna lie, handheld gaming is not really the thing of the future like that. Like Nintendo is the only one, and they're doing that shit poorly. I said it last week. That Switch that they showcase is a dick slap to the face.
Yeah, disrespectful shit, bro. Very.
It is honestly the worst thing they could have done. This one right here, like, Beam, if you wanted a computer and you didn't want to spend $1,000, like, this might be it for you right here, because the thing is it might cost like $649. That's not bad.
No,
and considering the fact that you can use a docking station to hook it up to a monitor to where you could play with the keyboard and mouse and a controller.
That's a valuable Apex machine right there than anything else compared to the freaking Switch.
That's true.
You could play Apex on it.
Because that's the thing. It has the same resolution, which 720p is not the best, but it has 60 FPS.
Right.
Okay,
so you're still gonna have like fluid movement. It's just the resolution is gonna be a little bit downscaled, but it's a lot better than the Switch, which the resolution is like 12 or 15.
Right.
And the frame rate drops. Frame rate drops to like 0 sometimes, and you can barely even see what the hell's going on the screen. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested
honestly,
in it. It looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till it launches just to see how it performs, and then
it's not like you could get that shit right now anyway. Like pre-order has already crashed the site multiple times already. So
yeah, I know.
You want to know the thing about that too? You want to know that thing too? Is that they have you can't grief this, or you can't scalp this at all.
Scalp.
Yeah, because, and I don't know what was so hard about this, because it's such a simple concept. So for you to get this thing right here, when you pre-order it, you have to connect your Steam login into the thing, but you have to authenticate it with whatever account, or they won't give it to you.
Oh,
why couldn't that do that for the Xbox?
Why
and the
couldn't
freaking PlayStation,
I don't
bro?
know. I
have
don't know.
no idea
That is
why
super
they
smart.
could not do that.
Super smart.
Not really. It's not even. That's not
It's
even.
not
the
even
smartest thing you can do.
complicated. It's just pretty much like the same two-way authentication code, but with your actual freaking PlayStation account. So why the hell
That's
they
what I'm
couldn't
saying.
do that shit?
I was like, why the fuck is it so? Is it so complicated? And that's why I was so agitated with the state of the play, because they didn't even bother to mention it. The issue, we're not gonna see a PS5 anytime soon. Izzy is a lone survivor. He has it. We don't. We are never.
Keep trying to
gonna see
make
that
people
shit
believe that they could get PlayStation 5 every time they keep advertising that shit, but you really can't. So I don't know even know why.
Bro, by the
I
time
put that shit out of my mind. Honestly, I just don't even think.
Yeah,
about
no.
it.
By the time like we get a PS5, Izzy's PS5 is gonna grow a goddamn beard.
Yep.
That thing is
pretty
gonna
much.
grow facial hair and everything, and we're gonna be like, bro, this is ridiculous.
You got an old,
because
yeah,
Sony.
and you guys are gonna be telling me, yeah, you got an old ass PS5 because like always, I'm the only person who doesn't upgrade my hardware after I get that shit. I always like have the original, because you always have like a pro or something, and I still have my original shit.
Yeah,
He's the only one that
Pretty
do
much
that. This man was cycling through consoles to the next one like.
Nah,
this man's,
nah.
going to like a.
The PS4 was the only time I did that, because I had the original one, and then I just really wanted the Spider-Man one, but I had the original PS4 for like years, so I just went on eBay and got that Spider-Man one.
No, I mean
That's the
like
only time I did that.
consoles in general, because you remember that time like being where you literally had like an Xbox 1 minute and then you had a PlayStation.
Yeah,
next,
okay,
because
back, yeah, I did swap back. That was that. That was crazy.
He was swapped back like this man was Richie Rich himself. He literally would.
I don't know why I would do
I was like,
that.
bro, you want to play on Xbox? He's like, oh, I ain't got that no more. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I got a PlayStation. I was like, damn, nigga, like we just got done playing Skate like the other day.
You just logged out 3 minutes ago. What the hell happened, bro?
Yeah,
I just
not.
would
When I
change
looked
my
at the
mind.
Xbox Live to see my friends, it wasn't even a whole day, and this man's Xbox was no longer in his possession. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just would swap a lot. I don't know why I do that. I don't do that shit no more though. If anything, I just get both of them and call it a day. I'm not gonna do anything like try to trade, because I don't even use. That's the thing. Like that was back when I was like a real live like GameStop like advocate, and I would just go and trade shit in and do all this other stupid shit. I don't do that no more. So
I haven't even freaking seen a
GameStop in so long.
In ages.
I have no reason to go there. I'm never going there ever again. So. Fuck it.
Well, you know the one where our old neighborhood is gone, so like that's
just crazy. That's hilarious, honestly.
That is crazy.
It's just funny.
I had so many memories there, but yeah, gone. But neat though. But speaking of gaming, Ghost of Tsushima stuff, which is kind of like quick news, because I don't know how true this is, but this person leaked it, and if this is true, it justifies the $30. Now, Izzy, I know you're going to conflict with that idea because of the fact that 30 seems way too high, but let me explain. They're talking about how this game, this DLC, is supposed to be a span of 12 to 15 hours of main story.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of content.
Main story of what?
Of the DLC. Because you got main story, then you got side quests.
What main story are they telling? I thought they already completed the main story already.
Bruh, the DLC story, that's the main story, because you have that, and then you have the other side quests that you got to do for the DLC.
Okay.
So that's 12 to 15 hours that this guy's suggesting.
So,
again,
if I don't want to play the
DLC,
and I just want the update where I get a haptic feedback for the main game that I already have, why the hell can't I just have that shit? Why do I have to pay for that shit?
Can't. I couldn't answer that for you, but some people actually said that they do have 60 FPS for the PS5.
No, they do. I'm saying
just not
the feature for the PS5 controller. They want you to pay for that shit, bro. Why? I already
Okay,
have
just
the
pay
main
the
game.
money
I
and
just
shut
want to
up.
play the
No, I'm
main
just playing.
game and Legends with that feature.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. I don't even want to play the DLC. So why can't I
Again,
just have all the free DLC?
I don't know
free
why
updates?
you don't want to play the DLC.
Yeah, I'm not
because the
sure.
game is-
Is it you a fucking weirdo, bruh? This nigga talking about he don't want more extra content. Like, bruh, get
I
the
said
fuck out of
I
here.
do want extra content, but no, off the rip, I don't want to pay for a feature that should be free. Let me get the free feature first. See if I actually like that feature before I want to buy the DLC.
I don't know why. I don't know why they're having that included. Maybe they have the option to where it's sold separately. I have no idea. But say
No,
that it's not.
They don't have that shit. You gotta actually buy the DLC to have the haptic feedback option and the
What
control
even is that
and all that
haptic
shit.
feedback shit you're talking about? The rumbling or whatever?
So
The rumbling,
with
the bow control.
the PS5 controller, right? The new update that they're bringing in there. Whenever you remember how they were talking about it, where like you know how you shoot the bow and arrows in Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Mm-hmm.
So depending on whatever bow you're using, like if you're using the long bow, it's gonna like when you pull your controller, you're gonna have like a more tension in there, like you're actually pulling a long bow.
Oh,
And if you have a short bow, it's gonna be more easier to pull because it's a more fast firing bow, you know.
right.
Yeah.
So all that you're gonna be feeling all that tension in the controller and all that like extra features and shit. Like every stance that you choose, you're gonna feel like the stance changing your controller and all that. But
Yeah.
with the DLC, instead of them just including that in the base game at no additional charge, you have to actually buy the DLC to have all that feature.
Yeah, that's a bit scummy. Like, why can't you? Just
So
give that-
that's why
give
I'm
that
kind
to
of getting
people?
pissed
Come on.
off about it. It's not that I wouldn't give them my money to play more story DLC. Man, I like Ghost of Tsushima. I like that game a lot. I would buy that shit just to play extra story content. I'm just getting pissed off because like it seemed kind of scummy that if you don't want to buy the DLC, if you want that feature, you have to pay extra money just to play that get that feature just from base game wise. Why are they doing that? It's kind of scummy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think that's kind of fucked up to lock away a feature. Like, come on.
yeah, I don't really like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's other companies have done worse, which we talked about in other previous.
Of course, they've
episodes,
done
but-
worse because like we always like as gamers and consumers, we always give them this leeway and let them slack off that shit. And every time they get this one step, the next time they just keep taking more steps, and eventually it just becomes the norm, and nobody else give a shit about that shit. So companies will just continue doing it, which is why I don't give any kind of company pass at all. I will complain about every fucking little thing because I already know how these damn corporations work. You give them a pass on one shit, the next time they're just gonna do the same stuff but even worse.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to give them a pass.
If the turquoise show is too blue, I do not want this shoot.
Nope.
Oh man, but yeah, continue real quick. Just continuing off this leak right here. So 12 to 15 hours, which is a lot. Like if you think in the scope of Miles Morales, it's essentially a whole new game, like entirely, which is just wild to me. So things that we kind of already know already because the Iki Island is based off of like a real island, and it's a third of the size of the main game. Which the game is honestly, the map is huge, and the fact that like at least from my experience, I didn't get tired traversing around the area. Like it kind of says something. So if it's that big, like that's pretty cool too. They said there's supposed to be a new fighting stance based off the monkey stance. And I said right here, like if you guys have seen like the show Samurai Champloo, where like the way that Mugen fights, that's essentially what it would look like in a way. And if that's the case, I'm all for that. I'm getting that DLC because that's honestly
more agile, like slippery gen, keep bouncing everywhere.
Yeah, like super fluid, but also just like unpredictable. Like yeah, I definitely would like to play that. So that's as far as we know. Again, I would take this with a grain of salt though, because the tester who did this, every tester is under an NDA, and I don't know why he said this in his detail thing. He like talked about how he was disabled and stuff, which I mean, again, that's good to know, but honestly, kind of irrelevant to. He was like, no, he's saying he's like a disabled beta tester, which is like, I don't know why you would bring up the fact that you have a disability, because that just kind of does the process of elimination whenever they want to find out who's the one who
leaked
leaked
it.
this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he
Or-
just said, yeah,
or-
fuck it, I don't want to live no more, or something like
once
that.
once he gets sued, he's gonna have an excuse that he was disabled. That's why he blabbed his mouth.
But even then, it's just like, it would, I don't know why you would do that.
Don't worry, he's not. If they're not gonna take that shit seriously anyway, it's just because I don't think
It might be true.
leaking that no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the gameplay leaking or whatever information he leaks isn't really all that shocking or something that should be like secretive anyway. Because the game of Ghost of Tsushima is already released. Everybody loved that shit. I don't care what kind of information they release, unless he just says trash the entire game. But he isn't trashing the game. He just released information that people will actually love. So it's not really bad information.
Right.
Which, I mean, well, there's only one person that I've seen, which is a stupid ass article, because there's just like this one person who was like complaining about how Ghost of Tsushima is like it's one of those same people that were like, oh, like you shouldn't like Ghost of Tsushima because like a Western company made it, not Japan. Despite the fact that the entirety of Japan's audience who played that game.
Oh yeah, I do remember that article where that person talk about like
it's
wasn't an embarrassment or some shit like that? Or he was saying like he's pretty much go on.
No,
like,
it was a she who was talking about it, which I didn't know what she was talking about, because she was like, yeah, no, like you have to do these things for these foxes. Like, why are they so obsessive with foxes? Like, can you not just play the fucking game?
Probably even have somebody play the game for them and just have because I remember that article was long as fuck. It was like three or 5 pages or some shit.
Yeah. Right.
And then they were doing some shit like, yeah, you know, I'm of Asian descent, and it's like, nigga, shut up. Like, just stop. just stop. Just please stop.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what's interesting, like, people who were Asian and Japanese, which is like a native country that the game was based in, loved the freaking game. So I don't even know what
why are you trying to tell those people over there what they should and shouldn't like? They don't give a fuck what you're talking about. If they like it, they fucking like it.
That article had me dying laughing.
So stupid.
It was something else, man. It was, yeah. But
well, speaking of gaming, if we're gonna continue forward, so there's been a Netflix data mine which suggests, for one, they're gonna have a partnership with PlayStation, because apparently they're looking into like game subscription model on some, like, I guess GameFly type shit, where you could just, like, I guess have some sort of game library, load up that shit and just start playing it. I mean, shit. Hey, if you do it right,
they seem to be learning from Game Pass.
Yeah. If you do it right, that thing could be cool. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I would say I would get hype about this, but I'm not. It's PlayStation.
I'm not really hyped of it at all. It's just like that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, it's the way like these companies are moving is just kind of peculiar to me. And like I said, it made me really not want to play games. Like, the only games that I'm playing right now are on PC. I didn't say what game I was playing like this time, but like I started playing Monster Hunter World. That game literally is reviving my my excitement for games, just because.
You just started playing Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. Me and Izzy, we put over 200
hours. Over 300 hours.
I know y'all, because I remember one time when me and Beam hung out in person and he was playing that game, bruh. I saw some shit that I'm thinking of. I'm like, man, my character's severely underleveled. And again, playing that game for the first time, I was like, yo, these monsters are fucking wild. In fact, yesterday when I was playing, I got my ass whooped by like it's called the Autogaron.
Oh yeah.
yeah. The tiger.
Yeah, I had
looking thing.
Yes. No, I had 2 other people with me, and we got fucking demolished. Like,
I bet you haven't fought any Elder Dragon yet. So
yeah, I was just about to say, Dude, just wait until you fight Nergigante for the first time. Oh god, he fucking sucks.
He was so pissed off.
He fucking sucks.
That's just hilarious, man. But yeah,
holy shit.
Monster Hunter World is the freaking shit, man.
Yeah,
I can't get time for it. Like, pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great game.
That's why I was like, damn, I wish there was like crossplay because that way like all four of us could play.
That would be dope. I would definitely be down to play that again.
Yeah, because honestly, I was playing that game. I got demolished, bruh. Like, I got the fucking bleeding effect that this thing caused because I was trying to like sharpen my sword because I use like a lance blade or a lance gun. Because originally I was doing like sword and shield, but I was like, you know, I really don't like it because there's like nothing special about it. So I went to lance.
You should use the insect glaive.
Yeah, there's so many different.
Once you master the insect glaive, you can just stay in the air all the time and just keep stay in the air all the time and just keep hitting the enemy. As long as you get your combos right, you may not never touch the ground when you're fighting. And you can also dodge in the air and shit, so it's even more fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, just test out every weapon, man. You'll like
there might be shit you might like, because that's what I had to do. Because like originally, like I just played with like huge swords, and then I kind of switched it up, and then like tried like gun lances. Those are pretty cool, and then there's just a lot to do.
And also, don't be like afraid to like go to the training arena or whatever and test out your combos with weapons, because that actually does help.
Oh no, I always do that because like with the gun lance, I'm able to get like a lot of damage and stuff like that. But yeah, no, just not with this one right here. This little monster right here literally like fucked me up so bad. I was trying to sharpen my blade, hiding in a bush. This fucker jumps in the air.
Because the other guy does bleed damage, so you gotta before you go over there, you gotta also buy like those bleed potion or seeds or whatever you like get bleed, you gotta like take them. So if you stop that, because even if you take your health potion, it doesn't stop the bleeding. It'll just revive your health, but your bleeding is still gonna be happening.
I didn't know that there's a potion for that, because if that's the case,
literally everything,
every effect has a potion. Yeah.
I mean, there are some because like me and Izzy, we grind it a lot because there's like a lot of special armors that you can get.
Armors that you can wear and cloaks,
charms and stuff. Because I have charms that just block like seismic shit. I don't get like knocked over, things like that, because that shit stunned. That shit sucks when your character's just like,
especially if you're close to killing a monster and it just stuns you and just come and trample you over.
I hate that, because there's so many times I'm like, fucking move, because he's like, oh, then I get slashed in the back and I fainted. My cat's over here just like, oh no.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was so bad. Our fucking calicos got flattened. Like, I remember when I was playing with my friend, we had this other one that basically was like Sonic the Hedgehog, where he like did like a roll thing. He ran over both our palicos. They're just on the floor, dazed. I was like, please get up. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Such a fun game.
Did y'all see the new Netflix series that is coming up for it?
Oh,
they did a Monster Hunter. Is it? Oh, hang on, let me see.
It's anime. It's not.
Oh, okay. Thank
it's
God.
It's not live action. No, of course it's gonna be awful if it was live action. No, it's anime.
They did do a live action.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I'm saying it's not live action because it was gonna be awful if that was what's gonna happen. But no, it's an anime Monster Hunter, and it actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
But because
it's weird.
The style they're using for the animation is kind of like a 3D kind of 2D mixture. I don't know. Take a look and see. You'll be able to describe that better. But it looks a little bit 3D, but not so 3D.
Yeah, let me see.
Like, it looks a little bit like a CG and like, anime style mixed together.
Oh yeah, it does kind of seem, it is like 3D. Which is pretty much it just seems like cinematics then.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, I was kind of afraid that they were gonna do another live action, but
yeah. And like
so far,
the Elder Dragon that they're gonna be fighting, that one is Lunestra. which is pretty
Lunestra.
cool.
I
Yeah.
hated that one too.
He's so
God,
fucking overpowered because
so
like
fucking
they have
overpowered,
like
dude.
multiple elder dragons and like monster hunters, but like Tiestra is like the fire one, but Lunestra is like he has was it fire,
It was it
ice, and
was
lightning or some shit. He has like
no, it was just Lunestra was the basically it's like a more powerful
powerful version of
Tiestra.
Tiestra.
Like
Yeah,
it's the flames like went from red to blue, and it
blue.
just
Yeah,
did way more damage. It was just like this is
Oh
fucking,
no.
this fucking this. Yeah, the Elder Dragons, like a lot of them are extremely annoying. Like one of the other annoying ones, I forget his name, but he was a wind one, and this nigga would just create tornadoes everywhere. I'm like, this is just fucking stupid, bruh.
that's why I
God,
say
they got
once he
Kieran.
once he
Yeah, Kieran, he's
Kieran
annoying
is
too.
like
That
the lightning
nigga's
one. He's
fucking-
annoying as hell. He's just a big freaking like a unicorn the size of a horse, and somehow he's an elder dragon. But like he's so overpowered, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, you was just
Like-
get shocked from halfway across the map.
Yeah. Then your character
dude
would just
thunderstorms.
stay
Oh my God.
Look
twitching.
at this dude, thunderstorms and shit. I was like, fuck this guy.
You're just
Shit.
be twitching on the ground because your lightning is just coursing through your character. He's like, it's like, oh man, this game is so freaking hilarious. But yeah, man, once you start getting powered up to fight Elder Dragons, you're gonna really like it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially when
Yeah.
you're going for specific parts. Like you go like cut off their tails and horns and shit.
Yep, to
It's
build
fun.
certain weapons and
Yeah.
gears. Like the armors for the Elder Dragons look pretty cool too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about it, because like the game hasn't really gotten boring at all for me at all, just because the fact that I can actually grind and like get these weapons and basically turn them into pouches and jackets and stuff like that. I really do like it. I don't know, like usually games like that would turn me off a lot because I don't have the time to really grind like that. And this one right here, I can actually take my time. I don't get bored. There are some things that is kind of questionable that they have, but like on a mechanical standpoint, like why is it so hard to join your friends? Like, and then on top of that, like why do they have it to where like you can't do cutscenes with your friends when it's
right.
like an always online game?
Right.
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't make
another
any
thing that we
sense.
complained about.
Yeah, it was.
A lot in that game.
Yeah.
when we
Because,
used to
like,
play.
You're never gonna play this game by yourself.
No,
at all.
it's pretty
No,
fun
it's
playing with your friends.
it's way more fun with friends. Like it's
Yeah,
not that
so-
fun by yourself at all.
Yeah, there's that game right there. I actually also got Red Dead 2 on my PC because I tried playing on my PS4 and I just don't like it. Honestly, I remember when I started that game out, like I couldn't get into it. But I mean, that's also like where I was at mentally, because I had a lot of stuff going at that time, and I really want to get back into it. And I want to play like the online version too, because I never got a chance to do that. It's actually still downloading right now because yeah, my internet's apparently really fucking slow, but hey, that's what happens when you have to download 120 gigabytes of data.
Red Dead is so
So-
fucking big, dude. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
But I can't wait to hog tie a motherfucker and put him on the edge of a cliff and treat them like they're fish or something. But oh boy. You guys want to get to the final, most ridiculous thing that we've all seen happen this week?
Yeah. This fucking
So-
clown.
Yeah, so about a week ago, or at least this week, there was this incident where like this random lady was trying to just get a coupon at Victoria's Secret, and then some
Yeah, free
altercation
underwear.
went on with it. Yeah, just get some free underwear and just bounce. She's literally not even trying to pay for anything. She was just trying to redeem and go. She ran into this one lady. Her name is Abigail Elphick. Sounds like something from Elder Scrolls, but hey. Anyways, so Abigail got into a conflict and she tried hitting her, but you know, this lady right here, she ended up pulling her phone out and oh my gosh, chaos ensued. This chick right here, she was screaming at the top of her lungs that she was getting stabbed. You know, she put on the worst performance I've seen since Death Note on Netflix, where she's like falling on the floor with grace. Like she looks like how when you drop a feather on the floor, that shit takes its time to make
Yeah, to
contact
settle.
with the ground.
Yeah.
Bro, this shit was ridiculous. But you know what? It was also really concerning. And the reason why I brought this up, you remember how when I talked about how that TikTok trend with the girls who were crying, I said that makes me not trust certain types of women. I still stand by that because the fact that this situation right here is really connected to it. You see this chick crying, there is not a single tear to drop on her face.
And what was wild, she was rolling on the ground like a big toddler. Like,
no, she was. The
holy
funniest
Lord.
thing when Beam saw it, where she was like gyrating on the floor,
Yeah,
like
I
she
was
had
like, what?
1,200 volts of electricity like shot in her ass, and her legs were just like, she's doing the stanky leg. She's doing the stanky leg, like. Oh my gosh, it made no sense. But the thing is, though, it's like it was so scary to see how this woman almost convinces the store that the lady who's recording actually attacked her, and even the police didn't help.
Right,
Like,
and
you know how
even some of the guests or customers in the store were telling the other lady who was actually being assaulted to leave the store.
Yeah.
Why weren't they telling the lady who was going to assault her to leave? Like,
that was the. I was dumbfounded because of the fact that it's just like, for one, the police is like, oh, we can't actually escort her. Yes, you can. They're over. I hate seeing how the police all of a sudden have these moments where they're like, oh, we actually can't do that. You can. You showcase those like levels of authority that you apparently don't have all the time on other people, but you can't do it for this lady who's literally trying to punch and assault another woman. There's a reason why the Black Panthers existed. That's all I'm gonna say with that right there, because this shit right here, if she didn't have her camera out, who knows what would have happened? Seriously.
Yeah, no, and like I was telling Elusive right here before we started recording, I fully believe had this not happened in a public place like this, that shit would have went left, and this lady would have been hurt severely. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was reversed to where the black lady, she would have got beat the fuck up by the police, and it would have been this whole other situation right here. But the fact they literally babied her, man, someone should have punched her in her face. I would have been like, man, get the fuck up. Like, she's like I said, I've never seen someone like a grown adult literally behave that sort of way. And the fact that she tried to pretend like she's like, oh, this panic attack is severe, I'm gonna fall out, and she didn't collapse on the ground again. No, she lightly placed her purse as a pillow.
No,
and
dude.
Carefully let down.
She slowly. It looked like I was in some sort of like play or something. She slowly just got on the floor. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this chick, bro?"
She said, and the swan
she
guys.
knew the privilege that she had, and she took full advantage of
that's
that.
Exactly
and
what
that,
it is.
in my opinion, is just evil because, like, you cannot, like, it's one thing for having, like, a privilege and, like, being ignorant to it, but, like, having that privilege and, like, taking full advantage of it and knowing what will happen if like, cops or, like, the wrong person, like, see her in that kind of situation and act on it. That's just being straight up evil, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, no, it is. It is fucking evil.
It is. And like I told you guys off mic, like, the thing about this is, like, people are trying to defend her, like, oh, well, she has a mental illness. Fuck her mental illness. I'm so tired of people that do this thing, and I'm not trying to
because that right there is kind of disrespecting other people with mental illness, because people with mental illness are not that evil.
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing, though. That's why I was saying, like, you know, fuck the whole mental illness narrative, because the people that do this, that acknowledge the fact that they have a certain condition, if she did, fuck her still, because the fact that if you're aware of the situation, you are then held accountable for getting that shit figured out. But if you're trying to use that shit for your advantage, no, fuck you.
And you're just being evil. It's not really something that is like, it's not mental illness. It's just you knowing that you have this situation and you over here trying to use it to your advantage to get somebody else hurt.
Yeah, because if she can't be out in public, okay, then she needs a helper. She needs to be put on those little backpack leashes. Those little kids got ADHD or something. Like, you need to do that, because no, that doesn't make any sense, man. Like I said, she's just trying to get her panties and go, and then fucking Abigail had to go and ruin it. And
No,
apparently she tried
I'm
to
gonna
do
tell you
this.
this. Like from what I gathered, like that entire shopping establishment is like a place where like they sell like high end like stuff. Like the entire mall area is like where they sell these like high end like clothing,
I mean,
Gucci and all these products
Victoria's
and shit. No,
Victoria's Secrets isn't like high
no,
end.
no, not Victoria's Secret. I'm talking about the mall itself.
Oh.
Like it has these like high end stores in there where they sell Gucci product and all these like high end goods and shit. You know, like they have certain malls that they sell like super expensive shit. So like that's where that
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret was. So I'm guessing like a lot of people with money go over there to buy shit, and I'm guessing like the lady who went over there with her coupon didn't have a lot of money. She just wanted free shit, so she went over there. I'm guessing where she was shopping because like the way it seemed like they got in an altercation way before she started recording, and the altercation escalated, and the black lady who was in that altercation with her realized like, yeah, maybe this shit is getting out of control and this something bad may happen. And by the time she turned her camera to start trying to record, this crazy lady was already about to go and like start smacking her in the face. So I would say both of them were kind of like aggressors, but like one of them just outplayed the other. So
I wouldn't say that girl, the other girl, the girl recording is aggressive because, like I said, she's just trying to get somewhere.
She was trying to get something, but like I'm guessing like just from her being over there and like she's just in that store and the other person who's like feel entitled that she doesn't want somebody else who's not paying money to be in the store probably is what they got in the altercation about. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but
but the thing is, I was like, Abigail here is wearing literally shorts and a tank top. Like, we gotta hear more about the story about like what happened because like I can't really say like what happened beforehand.
I can't either, but it seemed like they were already in an argument before that recording started anyway.
Yeah, it happened.
And when the video started, she was already trying to like hit that lady in the face, and she got. The reason I say she got outplayed is because now when she finally got caught on camera trying to be the aggressor, she tried to change it up and flip it up like she's the victim, which obviously she was not, because that acting was just friggin' awful. But it doesn't matter whether her acting was awful or not, because you saw in the video, like even when the cops showed up or the security guards showed up, they weren't actually like trying to defend the person who was about to get smacked in the face. They were actually defending the lady with the crocodile tears. So
they only helped her when she tried to attack again, because the thing that doesn't make any sense is when someone's like, "Get away from me." You know, typically the best thing is that you don't want to approach the person you're saying "Get away from me" from. That doesn't make any sense to me. No logical person would do that. If you ever felt you're endangered, hey, say if you ever gotten in an encounter with the tiger, and he also had Wolverine claws. If you say "Get away from me," would you actually approach that thing?
Fuck no.
Nope.
As he's growing,
she was pretty much saying "Get away from me" while trying to like chase down the lady. So like, pretty much you can tell who the aggressor in that situation was. But like, even when the cops showed up, they didn't even try to like get her who was making the scene out of the store. They tried to get the person who was actually getting the attack out of the store. So I still like that entire situation.
I just found out this chick is like 24 years old. She's like kind of our age, but well, she's like a year younger than us. But no, this chick right here, you know, she's fucking stupid right here. Because you know what? This makes it even worse. Because she's like, yeah, I have a colostomy bag, and she wrote in this thing to try to help her case. She said, I was diagnosed with chronic constipation and pelvic floor dysfunction. She said, I am a 24-year-old that has a colostomy bag. If you have these sort of things right here, why
the hell are you trying to fucking start a fight with somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
Because like she could have just solved that entire situation by straight up just apologizing and calling a day, but like being a typical person who like obviously know the kind of privilege she's had, pretty much wouldn't want to do that because she didn't see nothing wrong with her behavior.
Yep.
Yeah,
she just believed she was right the entire time. So
and as we've said
she
before,
she could scream.
People have died for less.
People have died for less. So the thing is, if it was me, why would I? If I had any of these sort of things, why would I risk a fight so my doo-doo bag could just like fall out of me? Like, Why would I risk that? If I had all these other situations right here, because this right here, this is why I say like picking a fight in public is one of the dumbest things that you can ever do. I had to explain this to my sister because I was teaching her about how with fighting you gotta have a stance because of the fact that if you're using like your dominant foot, you need to have that as power. So when you ever make a swing, there's more force in that punch. But I was telling her, I was like, even if you know these things, I was like, never pick a fight because you don't have no idea what that person has. That person can have a knife, a gun, a ballistic missile. You have no fucking clue. Like
Right.
People are
crazy,
unpredictable
man.
nowadays.
People are crazy.
I was literally talking to my friend where I was like, I never had the intention to ever fight anyone just because of the fact that people do not have like self-awareness to the point where they think their actions are justified, to where like people would literally body slam. That's the first thing people do that I see like in high school, where they try to pick up and slam some dude or a girl on their head and then just think, yeah, what you gonna do now? And then all of a sudden that person has brain damage or they're dead and then they're in prison for the rest of their life, and they're just like, man, I shouldn't have did that. Like, people have no self-control. Like, you should never get into a fight.
Yeah.
This person right here is lucky. She's lucky she got fired. Say this would have been someone else, she would have took out a knife.
Like I said, that entire situation could have been diffused if she just would have apologized and say, okay, I'm sorry, let's go about my business and let me go about yours. But nope, they decided to make a scene with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, which again, it's just like I don't understand, but hey, when this girl did a smart thing, or this lady did a smart thing, pull out her phone. Our phones are like the black person's weapon.
Yeah, pretty much.
We are burdened with.
Nope. It's terrible. Nah, real shit. Piece of shit. Real talk. But yeah. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Everything has been pretty okay for the most part. I mean, I'm still looking forward to the move. I'm planning on moving back out west, and I can't wait for that to happen as soon as possible. Just waiting for a couple things to, settle in place. But besides that, yeah, everything's been straight for the most part, family wise and whatnot.
Oh, I've been good, but I've freaking been bored out of my mind. I think I need to fucking find a new job. My job has become less interesting for a few months now. Time to move on.
Right.
Bigger and better things. I like. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Good that you guys are doing good. Yeah, man. Honestly, Nothing's really been that much different. It's nice to have this little vacation. Well, not really vacation. I'm still looking for like a job and everything. Like it's been kind of like going like in or there. Like there's some opportunities that I thought I was gonna get. I had this weird situation, which is this person on LinkedIn was like looking for people to do like an anime. We're looking for an anime illustrator. And I didn't get the job, but the weird thing was the fact that I just messaged him because I was like, hey, like, thanks for sending me this application or getting back to me and reaching out to me. I was like, I'm disappointed, but hey, at least thank you for just getting back to me. So they responded, and it went from professional to completely informal, where they're like, oh my gosh, you're awesome, you're amazing. I was like, what? What's going on here? And then like, yeah, if you need like a shout out or anything, like, there are other people that are looking for talents. I can put your name out. And I was like, bro, I don't know what just happened.
That's just a courtesy of not being too much in your feelings when you get rejection. Just being a decent person. So
I mean, the thing is, though, it's just like you can't really do anything about rejection. You have to
no,
accept it. Like, and it's just like
Yeah.
the thing. And it goes with anything because all it takes is just one. Like,
right.
you're gonna face a lot of rejection, and all it takes is just one thing to happen. Job applications are like the same thing with dating. Like, you try again, and then like you possibly find the one. And like that's just my mentality because like what am I gonna do? Like, am I just gonna get mad and be like, man, fuck you,
Mope
fuck
in the
your
corner. Exactly. Why
yeah,
would
like
I want to do
fuck your
that?
establishment, fuck the shoes you walk in. Like, man, no,
Because
it's
now
a
you're
waste of
just
energy.
you're just creating. Yep, pretty much creating a situation that does not need to be created.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just the best thing you can do in the situation is just keep looking, keep moving forward, and just work on other things. Like, I got so many things that I want to make and stuff right here. And like, if I don't get the job, then I just keep moving forward. But I mean,
Like I said,
that's
the world would be like a entirely better place if people just respect each other. But that doesn't happen. So
Nope.
see where we're at.
It doesn't.
yeah.
It's unfortunate. But
It is unfortunate, but that's honestly that's just the way life. I mean, we'll see how it goes from here. But hey, that's pretty much it for me.
Yep.
Right. Well, you already know
What's the moral of the story?
Moral of the story.
When you're looking up, you're not looking down.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Aaron Yeager thing. Just keep moving forward.
Oh, okay.
Well, he said
Let's go
keep
back.
moving forward when my enemies are dead, but I'm not gonna include that part. I don't want no one dead.
Yeah, that's a little hardcore. But yeah, man. Kai Bean Podcast episode 23. Thank you for listening. If you did make it this far, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Appreciate all the support, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.